intercessor. I am the one that God's been grooming. I have the Davidic anointing. I am the one that's been on the backside, been the cut, in the corner, in the corridor. I'm the one not in the big office. I don't have the big desk. I don't have the title yet. I am not VP. I am not the one running it. I am not the one quite managing the way I want to. I do have a little something though. And that little something that I have, I'm going to use that little something and I'm going to offer it to God as something that he can breathe on, that he can anoint, that he can use. Because when others are going to sit down, I'm going to be the next one in line. I'm going to be the one ready and prepared. Not just the song get in line. I'm talking about preparation. I'm talking about motivation. I'm talking about activation. I'm talking about execution. I'm talking about implementation. I'm talking about people who are ready because they have played hardball in the back. Come on, say, I played hardball in the back. I played hardball. I was playing like I was playing for the Giants for real. That I was praying for the Los Angeles Rams or whoever it is now. I was playing like I was playing for the Houston Rockets. I was playing like everybody was watching me. And then I looked around and there wasn't nobody. There wasn't nobody there. And I was sweating. I was putting goals in. I was making TDs, touchdowns. I was doing TKOs. I was living my life like everybody was watching. And God was saying, you only needed me. Oh, God, I feel that. You only needed me to watch. I was the one at your every game. I was the one at every turn. I was the one at every trial. I saw how you fought in the night. I saw how you fought in the back. I saw how you fought on your pillow. I saw the tears roll down your eyes, but you still put your dukes up. And so the Lord is saying this is a new era and a new season of qualifying the replacements. And so I've just come this week to talk to giants who don't often feel like they're giants. And I know that place because I don't often feel like one. I know what I carry. I know it's packing. I know it's powerful. But can I be honest? Some days I don't feel like a giant. Some days I don't feel like an apostle. Some days I don't feel like the teacher or the business owner or the entrepreneur. But you know what? There is something down in my belly that keeps upscaling, uploading the data. It keeps telling me and reminding me, and I have just come to push out of my mouth what I'm hearing. I am hearing that the walk of giants is a walk of fearlessness. Totally fearless. Totally fearless. Totally. It means that we are not afraid. We are not afraid to keep it going. We are not afraid even when we miss it, even when we fall. This is your motivation this week. I want you to be totally fearless and walk as giants. I want you, whether you're at the copier, whether you're at the water cooler, whether you're in the car, whether you're dropping kids off at the bus, whether you're getting ready for a meeting that you cannot believe is happening, the meeting of meetings, the thing that make lose your job. I don't care what it is that you're doing. I want you to walk in total fearlessness today. I want you to understand that fearlessness has some components to it that you and I have to understand. And in the next 2 minutes, 3 minutes, I want to break it down for you so that you begin to conquer fear because you walk as a giant. We are walking as giants in the land. We are the ones God has preserved. Remember, we are the replacements for those who are standing at the gate. Their days are gone. Their ministries are coming to an end. Their businesses have lost their favor, their savor. They don't have it, but you got it, boo. You have it. You are the ones, and there are no others. So we got to get ready. We have to get ready to replace those that have been faithful and loyal, who've been on the job, who've been doing some things, but we're also going to replace those who've been unfaithful, who've been unqualified, who've been not doing what they're supposed to do. And God is saying, I will bring down some and lift up others. And I want you to know that you're being lifted. I want you to know that. So let's look at this fear, peace. This is what I heard. And I read this and I studied this just in a dictionary. And there's so much revelation. I want you to be readers. Remember, giants are readers. We have to get this mind together. We have to be intellectually spiritual and spiritual intellectually. Spiritually intellectual. We got to understand the intellect of the spirit. We got to know and be smarter than the average bear. You'll hear me say that a lot. You got to be smarter than your opponent, smarter than your adversary. You got to know what it means to stay up and to move forward and to not be fearful. Now, here is just a simple definition of fear. It is the unpleasant emotion caused by the belief. I thought I was going to fall out of my chair. It is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, painful, or threatening. But it is the belief. And so you and I have to change our belief, because fear comes through the belief channel. Did you know that? Because that blew me. That fear comes through the belief channel. Tap, 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 tap. I will not be fearful. Tap, 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 tap. I will not give my belief to fear. Tap, 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 tap. Fear is the belief that something or someone will be dangerous, cause us pain, or be a threat to us. So now here's the review that you have to do today and the rest of the week. If you're going to walk in total fearlessness, you have to do, first of all, a shift on your belief. You got to change your belief and not give it to fear anymore, but to give it to the Son of God, to give it to the Christos, to give it to the Father who loves you. You cannot let your belief be squandered on something that is not good for you. Fear is not good for you. And so this believing has caused us in our minds and in our hearts to believe that something gonna get you, bugger man gonna get you, something gonna hurt you. You better stop. You better not start that business. You better not move out in ministry. You not start your prayer call. Don't start your prayer ministry. Something gonna happen. You know, people lose their mind. Come on, this is fear. This is the belief that what I'm hearing in my head is going to somehow cause me pain, danger, watch this, or some sense of threat. And so we have to define today, replacers, today, we have to define what is dangerous, what is painful, and what is a real threat to us. Because if I know what I know, you have been through more pain than most people. Am I talking clear and right and loud and sound? You have been through more pain than most people. So you don't have to worry about, is it painful? Okay, whatever. Is it threatening? I have been threatened. I have been toxic. I have been tempted. I have been taxed. I have been tested. So what else? Whoa, what else is coming? All right. Is it dangerous? What? I live for that. I was born for that. Is it dangerous? Come on. So these things that have caused us to be fearful are really things that if we look at it clearly in the light, if we turn the light on it and we look at it for what it really is, and boy, I'm feeling hot today. I told y'all in my mid-50s. If you look at it and you're looking at it, you're saying danger. Well, why was I? What did I believe about that? Pain, believe it. I done lived it. I don't have to believe it's going to happen or it might happen. I done lived it. I've endured it. I've had the axe in the back. I've had the stab. I've had the what? Come on. I've had the slap. I've had the kick. I've had my shins kicked in. I've had my legs pushed in from the back. I done what? Pain. What you saying? Hurt, scandal, betrayal. Come on. Friends, high places. Jesus said I was wounded in the house of my friends. I got to stop. I was wounded in the house of my friends. So look, I know what it's like as David writes in the Psalms. I know what it's like not to be hurt by an enemy. I know what it's like to be hurt by friends. And yet here I am still. I know what it's like to be hurt by those who love me most. It was a husband who said, I don't love you anymore. I know what it's like for my own child who I birthed after 9 months to walk out the door and say at 18, I don't even like you. See, these are the things that most of us, I'm just giving generalities and scenarios, but I know it's real. I know what it's like for a mama to say, you know what, I don't know, you just look too much like your daddy. Just get on down the road. I can't deal with you. See, I know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the replacers. I'm talking to those of you who've been cast away and thrown out. I'm talking to the ones that have been kicked under the bus and the curb, the tree and the rock. I'm talking to those that really need to know, now, why am I fearful? Because I done been through it all. Why am I not walking as a giant in my life, in my marriage, in my family? Why am I not rallying these troops and telling folk we getting this thing together up in here? We're not going to act like we lost our minds. Why am I dealing the same way in my entrepreneurial pursuits? Why am I not looking at my vision board and saying, all right, enough of this 10-year vision. It's time to kick this thing up a notch. It's time to pull this thing into third gear, fourth gear, and ultimately fifth gear. I just told a woman yesterday in Washington State, she was on my phone and she called me and she was telling me all of her troubles, and the child is on heroin and this one's on that one, and it's been 20 years. And I said, and you're still sitting in that same spot? Do I need to give you permission to breathe? Do I need to give you permission to live? You deserve better than living in a house of horror. Get up, get your stuff together, show your children, show your community that you are not a punk, that you are a giant. And I'm saying the same thing to you. We don't have time to play small. We don't have time to be afraid. We don't have time to have a belief system that is anti-God. Did you hear me? A belief system that is anti-God. So don't say somebody else is anti. If you are believing in the fears of the threats of your fears, if you are believing in the pain promised by your fears, if you are believing that there is some kind of danger that's going to be lurking around the corner once you start your ministry and move out, you have waited long enough. I am saying now you have waited. Now, if you need some extra, how do we craft it? How do we design it? How do we put it together so it's stealth and strong? Then you give me a call and let my team and I help you. But you don't say I can't, and you don't say I'm afraid, and you don't say I don't know, one day, someday, maybe later, oh well, I don't know if I. No, that's not going to happen. That will not persist. That will not be your profile, because you are a giant, because you are the giant walking the land. If you have paid the penalty, the price, if you have put in the pain factor, if you have gone through danger, if you have seen the threats, then I'm telling you this morning, you are now qualified to walk as giants. I'm telling you that. Giants in the land, Dr. Margie. Giants in the land. That's what God has been raising up. Why do you think he's been doing all of this all along? Why do you think we've been Davidic? Why have we been out back? Now listen, in my last little minute, I thought it was going to be 20. I think I might be a little bit over, but let me read this. It says fear. This is psychology. Y'all know I look at psychology because they like to work us one way, so I be coming with the apostolic to work them another. But listen to this. Fear is a vital response to physical and emotional fatigue and danger. It stops you. It hinders you. It says, don't go another step further. Don't turn that corner. Don't make that call. Don't buy that product. Don't open that book. Don't get with that crowd. Don't follow that coach. Don't listen to that minister. It tells you always stop. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. And so we keep listening because we were born in an age where things never happened well for us. And we keep thinking it's going to happen the same. Am I talking to anybody? Fear is not an option. LOL. She's laughing at me. But you know what? I am serious. You know, you got to make some jokes at these fearful things. You have to look at them and laugh, because you're like, what? Are you crazy? Do you know who you're talking to? You're talking to the person who's gone through. If we didn't feel it, we couldn't often protect ourselves from it. So the psychologist is saying there is a good fear that says stop. There is a normal part of fear that says don't go out in front of the car. Don't fall off the cliff. All right. So we know that. But I'm talking about spiritual and emotional fear. I'm talking about those things that keep you hunted down, crouched down, stunted inside. Those are the things that we are not going to tolerate. And it says here, traumas or bad experiences can trigger a fear response within us that is hard to quell. Yet, this is the psychologist. Now, I didn't get this out of the Bible. I didn't just get this out of a Christian book. Yet, exposing ourselves to our personal demons. Did it say that in the psychology today? Exposing ourselves to our personal demons and unquantified dangers is